Have you ever witnessed a moment in life when someone who is looked down upon, mocked, humiliated, and treated as if they don't belong suddenly turns? The entire room silent with just a single phone call. This isn't merely a story about wealth or influence. It's about human dignity, hidden strength, and the breathtaking way one woman revealed who she truly was when the world tried to crush her spirit. Tonight, step inside a grand ballroom where laughter transformed into gasps, arrogance into fear, and the so-called outcast became the one person everyone wished they had treated differently. Listen carefully, because this story will linger long after it ends. The night began with glitter and glamour. A towering New York City hotel blazed against the dark sky like a jewel. Outside, the entrance swarmed with valets, doormen, and photographers. Limousines rolled up in a slow procession, their polished exteriors catching the camera flashes like sparks of fire. Out stepped men in impeccably tailored tuxedos, shoes gleaming as if untouched by dust, and women in shimmering gowns, draped in furs and adorned with jewels worth fortunes. This was not just a party, it was a rarefied charity gala, where the invitation alone was a statement, a passport into the realm of influence. Inside, the ballroom glittered with opulence. Chandeliers poured golden light over marble floors polished to a mirror sheen. The ceiling soared high, painted with angels and constellations that seemed suspended in the glow. An orchestra tucked in one corner played a delicate waltz, each note drifting like perfume through the air. Silver trays moved seamlessly among guests, glasses of champagne sparkling like molten gold. Conversations rose and fell like tides, filled with laughter, whispers of deals, and flattery wrapped in silk but edged with steel. And then Claire walked in. She had dark brown skin that glowed softly under the chandelier light. Her dress was a simple dark charcoal, elegant yet understated. Jewelry was minimal, a single silver chain at her neck. Her makeup was light, her features open and unmasked. She didn't stride in to demand attention, yet she drew it, if only because she seemed entirely different from everyone else in the room. Her posture was straight, chin lifted just enough, exuding quiet confidence. She was not a queen among courtiers. She was a mystery. The reaction was immediate. Whispers stirred like wind through dry leaves. A woman in a ruby necklace leaned toward her companion. "Who is she?" Another smirked. "Did someone sneak in?" Men cast sidelong glances, lips curling in quiet amusement. It wasn't just curiosity, it was judgment. Her simple dress, dark color, and skin tone drew mockery. Claire was not one of them, and they wanted her to feel it. She tried to focus on the auction tables, studying the artwork, pretending to read the descriptions, but the whispers thickened, clinging to her like smoke. Laughter followed in brief bursts, laughter aimed at her modest outfit and dark skin. And then Victoria arrived. Victoria dominated the room effortlessly. Her gown shimmered silver, every step catching the light like rippling water. Her dark hair framed her face perfectly, her posture regal. She wasn't merely on the guest list, she was the guest list. Around her, women adorned like queens moved as satellites to her sun. She glided toward Claire with a smile too sharp to be kind. "Well, well," she said, voice smooth but cutting. "I don't believe we've met. You must be someone's assistant? Or did one of the caterers wander off the wrong floor? And is that dress supposed to be black? How bold." The women behind her laughed in practiced harmony. Their laughter was quiet, but honed to wound. Claire's face warmed, her heart drumming, but she steadied herself. "I'm here as a guest," she said softly. Victoria tilted her head, mock surprise in her eyes. "A guest? And wearing something so humble. How very interesting." The laughter came again, sharper this time. Claire forced a polite smile, refusing to bend. she would not gift them tears. But the night refused to release her. At the champagne table, she reached for a glass, only for a tall man to bump her deliberately. Champagne splashed across her dark dress, droplets staining like cruel stars. "Oh, clumsy me," he said, chuckling without apology, then strode off. Later, at the auction display, Claire leaned to study a painting, bold strokes of light across shadow, and heard a man whisper loud enough for others to hear. "Careful, darling. That piece is worth more than her simple dress." His companion smirked, laughter cutting across the room. Every remark sliced, every glance chipped at her dignity. Yet she remained tall, her silence the only shield she could wield. As the night deepened, her humiliation grew heavier. She considered leaving quietly, sparing herself the cruelty. But before she could, Victoria returned, circling for the kill. She lifted her champagne glass, voice pitched to Carrie. "Tell me, sweetheart," she said, sweetness layered over venom. "Who exactly invited you tonight? We wouldn't want this gala mistaken for a public event. And that outfit." The crowd stilled. Heads turned. Claire's humiliation became spectacle. Her heart hammered. She could have walked away. She could have stayed silent. But something inside her shifted. She reached into her clutch, fingers steady despite her pulse racing. She drew out her phone. The room seemed to lean in, waiting. A few snickered, assuming she was calling for rescue. But Claire's voice, calm and steady, cut through the hush. "Hi, darling," she said into the phone. Her tone was soft, intimate, yet every word carried. "Yes, I'm at the gala, and I think it's time you joined me." A ripple moved through the crowd. "Darling?" whispered some. Who could she be calling? Victoria smirked, folding her arms. "Oh, sweetheart," she murmured. "Whoever you called had better be worth it, or this will be even more humiliating." Claire ended the call, tucking the phone away, composure unbroken. "He'll be here soon," she said simply. Minutes passed. Laughter returned, thin, brittle, uncertain. People stole anxious glances toward the doors. Victoria leaned close, voice low and sharp. "What a performance. But really, darling, no one is coming for you." Then the atmosphere shifted. The ballroom doors opened. Faint footsteps echoed. Then the crowd instinctively parted as if an invisible force had entered. Tall, broad-shouldered, his presence filled the room before his voice did. Dressed in a sharply tailored suit, each line perfect, his stride purposeful. Behind him, discreet security flanked the entrance with precise efficiency. Gasps spread like wildfire. It was Alexander Hayes, the billionaire whose name dominated headlines, whose empire influenced boardrooms and governments alike, walking straight toward Claire. Whispers cracked. "It can't be. Is that Alexander Hayes?" Victoria froze, her smirk fading, glass trembling. Alexander's stern face softened when he saw Claire. In 2 strides he was beside her, pressing a gentle kiss to her forehead, hand resting protectively on her back. His voice carried warmth and authority. "Sorry I'm late, love. Traffic was impossible." Silence fell, profound, almost sacred. The orchestra faltered. The crowd stared in disbelief. Claire, the woman mocked, belittled, humiliated, was his wife. Alexander's eyes swept the room, sharp as blades. "I trust," he said coldly, "that my wife has been treated with the respect she deserves." No one spoke. Victoria's face burned crimson. Lips parted. No words. Claire stood taller, not because of wealth, but because truth had emerged. She had endured humiliation with dignity. Now the others bore the shame. The night shifted like a tide. People who had laughed stumbled over themselves, offering brittle smiles, desperate greetings, hollow apologies. Victoria's trembling voice barely formed words of regret, silenced by Alexander's gaze. Claire simply smiled politely, her grace sharper than any insult. By night's end, whispers spread beyond the ballroom. Phones buzzed, messages flew. By morning, everyone would know. The tale of the unknown woman who silenced a gala with one phone call. For Claire, it wasn't revenge, not spectacle. It was something deeper. Dignity is not granted by jewels, gowns, or approval. It resides within, unbroken even when the world seeks to shatter it. And sometimes, in one breathtaking moment, the world remembers who you truly are. That night, silence itself carried her name. Sometimes the world laughs at those it does not understand. But in the end, truth always speaks louder than cruelty. If Claire's story touched your heart, don't leave silently. Share this video, subscribe, and let's keep telling stories that matter.